Hey guys, Alex here from Permitted, and today I'm going to show you how to get a sales tax permit, also known as a seller's use tax permit, in the state of Alabama. You need to get a sales tax permit in Alabama if you have a nexus there, and you can get nexus by having either people, inventory, or property in the state. So you might have employees, affiliates, and contractors. You might be buying, renting, or leasing a warehouse there, or you might not have any physical contacts with the state. You're just storing inventory there. And even if you aren't doing those things, you may also have nexus if you visit Alabama frequently to sell or market your products. But I don't want to go into too much detail on what will give you nexus. I want to actually show you how to get a sales tax permit once you do. So the first thing you're going to do is head to the Alabama Department of Revenue website, and I'll add a link in the description here on where to go. And what you're going to do is click right here, obtain a new tax account number. And on this page, all you're going to do is specify what type of business you have. And for this example, I'm going to do a limited liability company. Just keep in mind that if you have a corporation, they might ask for additional documentation. They're going to ask for your FEIN, and I've got a fake FEIN here I'm going to type in. Type it again down here. And it's going to ask if you already have a tax account. Assuming you're getting your sales tax permit for the first time, you're just going to hit no. Go next. All right, so on this page, there are a bunch of different options, and really it's because Alabama is using their online web portal for you to register for multiple tax accounts if you need it. We're really only interested in 3 of these boxes. So you're either going to choose seller's use tax or you're going to choose sales tax. So you would choose seller's use tax if your business is not located in Alabama, and you're going to click sales tax if your business is located in Alabama. And if you just highlight over, it's kind of small here, but it'll actually say your business, for businesses that sell tangible personal property to Alabama consumers but do not keep inventory in Alabama, required if you have Alabama sales reps, agents, or any significant recurring contact or nexus within Alabama. So the short of it is, if you don't have a physical location in Alabama, click seller's use tax. If you do, click sales tax. But if you're an Amazon seller storing inventory, it's laid out pretty clearly that you should be collecting sales tax and not seller's use tax. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing for everyone. All right, for my example, I'm going to click seller's use tax. And they also require that you at least answer the questions for local taxes, and that gets a little weird, but we'll run through it together. Okay, so we're just going to hit next, and this is some pretty generic stuff. They're just going to ask you for information related to the legal name of your business. Make sure you include LLC or Inc. or whatever the full legal name is. Your trade name, what type of business you're engaging in the state. Secretary of State entity ID number is not required. If your business is located in Alabama and you are registered with the Secretary of State, you should add it. If you click this link, it'll take you to a webpage where you can look it up if you don't have it written down. All right, entity subtype. This is pretty important. This is basically asking you what type of business you have. So I already specified that I was an LLC, but now it's asking me what form of LLC do I have, and then your incorporation date. It's also going to ask, are you a foreign corporation? And foreign doesn't necessarily mean international. It's just asking if you're not from Alabama. I know I was pretty confused about that at first. And also saying corporation doesn't necessarily mean are you a corporation. Do you have a business that is not from Alabama and is from another state in the U.S.? So I'm going to say yes in this case. And then the date I was qualified to do business in Alabama. And the last question here is, have you filled out your form 8832? So the 8832 is a form that you would have filed with the IRS that is an optional form where you basically are electing to be taxed differently than just a standard LLC. So an LLC is a pass-through entity. but you can elect for your LLC to be taxed as a partnership or a corporation. If you have, click yes, and you're going to have to upload that document. Otherwise, just click no. And then, last bit of information here. It wants you to enter the primary business location here. The Alabama online form is kind of annoying because you have to actually click, and then there's a separate pop-up that you have to fill out, and it has to validate. Just make sure you click the click here to verify the zip +4 code. But you'll be good to go. They're kind of hidden, but I'll point them out as we go along. All right, I'm going to type this information in real quick, and I'll speed it up for you. Just going to ask if the mailing address is different from the primary business address. This is where your sales tax permit information is going to be mailed to, and where they're going to send any mailing records. And the record address is just if you have an accountant or a warehouse or a storage facility where you're storing all of your accounting information. This is just so that if you're ever audited, they know where to go to get that information. So I'm just going to click no. Is your business operating in multiple locations? So if you're a store, for example, and you have multiple stores, you're going to have to go through the same process I just did, where you select or where you enter in the address information for each location, and also get set up to collect local sales tax for each location. But since we're an out-of-state business and we don't have multiple locations, it's not really relevant to us. So I'm going to click no. It's going to ask what our year end is. This is just when you consider your year end for your accounting financial statements. Most companies are going to be in December. Okay, so this is where it gets weird. It's going to ask us if we want to register for local taxes, for city and county local taxes within Alabama. This is technically optional. There are local taxes in Alabama, but let's say you're an online seller and you only have Nexus because you visit the state for sales and marketing purposes, and you don't actually have local Nexus. You would just enter in your home state's information here. So Alabama's application is very unique in that it lets you select your home state and your home county for your local taxes. This is not going to make you pay your local Colorado or your local home state taxes to the state of Alabama. It's just a really weird way that Alabama has decided to allow you to bypass the local tax setup if you're getting a seller's use tax permit because you're not based in Alabama. The commence date here is going to be your effective Nexus date, and this is one of the fields that it will let you select a future date. This is the date. It doesn't really matter here for me because I'm saying, I'm registering for local taxes in Colorado and not in Alabama. But if you are registering for local taxes, this is the effective date that they're going to expect that you begin collecting and remitting sales tax. So I typically recommend collecting and remitting sales tax 6 weeks from now, just because that'll give you enough time for the state to process your sales tax permit. You can put it in the past, but that will also trigger an audit from the state. If you should have been collecting tax in the state of Alabama significantly in the past, you should consider entering into what's called a voluntary disclosure agreement. And a voluntary disclosure agreement is just going to the state of Alabama saying, hey, I owe you this much tax. Will you waive penalties and fees? And that's something our company Permitted can help you with. Okay, so same question. For your seller's use tax, what is the state and the effective Nexus date? So when should you begin collecting sales tax in the state of Alabama? And for a county, just choose the county that you have the most contact in. So for example, if you're visiting a specific county, they make you choose one. There's no way around this. I contacted them. So just choose one that makes the most sense for your business. It doesn't really matter because your local taxes would have registered you for the local county taxes anyways. What's really important here is the commence date, because this is when the state tax auditors are going to assume that you should be collecting tax by this date, or rather beginning on this date. If you put a date earlier, then they're going to say, hey, where's the money you were collecting? So just keep that in mind. And again, I recommend at least 6 weeks out to make sure that you have enough time. That should give you more than enough time. Okay, this next page is just going to ask you what your contacts have been within Alabama. So do you have employees there? Do you maintain a place of business? Are you leasing or renting property? What's the deal? If you do select the second box, you have an employee or independent representative there, Alabama might make you register for a withholding account. So just keep that in mind, which you should do if you have employees there, but just keep in mind there's probably going to be a few additional steps. So I'm just going to say that I'm none of the above because I'm just an online business and I'm, sending my goods to Alabama citizens. And that's it. I'm not going to hit submit here because this is a fake application, but what you do is hit the submit button. You would get a confirmation screen. I recommend that you write down your confirmation number and also save it. And the state will mail you your sales tax permit application. They might also email it too, I forget. But that's it. Alabama does require that you file sales tax permits online. They make you submit sales tax filings online every month. By default, you have to submit a return every month, but based on your tax liability, you might be able to only have to file once a quarter or once a year. That's something that our business can help you with. We can help you get sales tax permits. We can help you automate sales tax filing. So if you're interested in learning more, check us out. Our website is salespermitted.com. All right. Hope you have a great day. Hope this helps. Bye.